Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
For all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Happen in 49, 61, 63 or 69 when they reach the final. But the class of 2021 have delivered. Leicester City are FA Cup winners at last and are history makers at Wembley.
They have blown their rivals away. They have blown us all away in truth. Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City.
Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Right, Chris.
All right there, how the devil are we all? Welcome along, it is the Football Review Show. I hope you are all well. Before we go any further, I just want to say sympathies go out to Cristiano Ronaldo and his partner Georgina Rodriguez on the fact that they've lost one of their twins. As a father of four, I don't know what I would have done if I'd lost one of mine. Football is football, rivalries are rivalries, but that goes beyond that. I mean, you know, I just can't imagine what the guy and Georgina are going through at the moment. So our sympathies, in all seriousness, go out to them, and I wish them all the best moving forward. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Please subscribe, smash the likes, and share if you can. And if you are listening on the old, I've lost my words now. If you're listening on the old podcast, thank you so much for sharing your ears with us. This is where you can find us.
Watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favorite podcast platform, or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Brilliant. So that is where you can find us. Scott says, good evening. Hope you and Louise are both well. Well, we'll find out in a minute. Scott, thoughts with Cristiano Ronaldo and his family? Definitely. David, hello again. Thanks for popping back on. Although this is a different stream, I just wanted to say hats off. Sorry, I should have gone to Specsavers. Hang on, I'll take these off. That might be better. No, it's not. I wanted to say hats off. The semi-final rant at the end of your last stream. Yes. So that's another one which we will come on to. We will come on to later. Don't like to have two rants too close together. Anyway, let's welcome Louise in, and I hope she's well. And say good evening, Louise. By God, you've changed, woman. How are you?
Not too bad yourself, Chris. How are you?
I'm all right. This is the week get up, is it? No, in fairness, thanks to Dan for popping on. We're going to talk a lot about Burnley in this review anyway. But Louise, I don't know where she is. Where's Lou? Because I need to go desperately. She's got the invitation. Hopefully she'll be able to pop on. But thanks to Dan for coming on as well. A good friend of the channel. And getting famous and going on some very big streams. So I hope he'll remember us sort of, as he overtakes us and goes stratospheric. But Dan, you're on here a lot, but tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Turf Morehouse TV. As I say, not just doing Burnley content. I'm having to branch out. I mean, there's only so much miserable stuff I can bring you regarding Burnley Football Club at the minute. So there is some Premier League stuff, and it's always a laugh as well. Chris is a regular. I'm a regular on here, and it's nice to keep that continuity. So I will never forget where it started, Chris.
Never forget me. Never forget me, mate. I'm going to miss you next season. We're going to have to come up with some sort of a show. In fact, stay on at the end because I have got an idea of a show actually. So, stick with me at the end. Although that's probably the wrong thing to say to you, isn't it? Really? But so it's we're kind of this was quite a newish show, and we're kind of revamping it as we go along. And it did start out as just the weekend review, but I think we're going to be looking at. But basically, football from last week in whatever form it is. So let's bring the information up. We'll just get rid of that. So we're going to start off with Leicester's win in PSV. Now, as an outsider, and it's very easy for me and Louise when she's on to talk about Leicester as Leicester, if you like, as Leicester fans, we can be a bit blue-tinted spectacles. I'm not saying that asking whether sort of you watched the match because you probably wouldn't have done, but how did you with Leicester's seasons, are you surprised we've gone as far as we have in Europe?
Yeah, it's almost on par with West Ham sort of season. It's not been great in terms of when it comes to the Premier League games, but when it comes to European nights, it's been phenomenal. You've hit a bit of form in the Premier League as well, which has probably helped. It keeps the petrol keeps the car running, and at the moment, as with each game coming, you top it up that little bit more, and you're getting the results left, right, and centre. So it were a cracking result. It's away from home as well. It's always nice. PSV obviously don't get Ruud van Nistelrooy till next season, but hearing that news of a former club favourite, joining them as manager would have obviously spurred them on a little bit, maybe in the league, etc. But yeah, remarkable performance from Leicester, and well deserved in my opinion.
Thank you very much, sir. Your missus there, or your director, I think your head of programming is saying, can never say bye to a prediction show. We can't. But Kate,
true.
Like I say, I do have some plans for next season. So, Renee, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? I hope you are well.
Hope you're well.
Can I just say, I want to say have a shout out. I know he's not watching, but I want to give him a shout out anyway. And we had a PSV Eindhoven fan on a post-match show, and he'd sent me, after the first leg, he'd sent me a Twitter message saying, like, we're going to batter you in the second leg. And as you do, you add each other and you start talking. And I love talking football of any description, and love talking sort of PSV with him. And he came on the post-match show, and he was very magnanimous. He said, well done, guys, you deserved it, etc., etc. But I want to say to him, well, thank you very much for coming on and being so magnanimous. It's not easy, but well done, because this weekend he had the Dutch equivalent. I don't know if it's still called this. Is it the Johan Cruyff Cup? But it was their equivalent of the FA Cup. And they were up against Ajax, who were obviously top of the league and everything. And they won 2-1. So well done, Broski. I know you're not watching this. I've sent you, we've chatted on Twitter since then. You went to the game. So good luck, mate. Well done for that. So Kate says, director, I'm trying to do you a favour. Keep your bromance going. Indeed. Static, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? I hope you are well. And as Chris says here, yeah, indeed, PSV game was an epic game. It was. And I think it was just the way that we did it. I mean, they came and did a job on us. Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. Static. It's pretty much the Dutch FA Cup.
Yeah.
And well done, PSV, indeed. They did a job on us in the first leg. They kept it 0-0. They went 1-0 up at their place, and my God, what an atmosphere there was! Reminiscent of St James's Park and Liverpool on the European nights. And for Brendan to get everything right, because he made the right substitutions, he made them early, and I know I've called him out for his substitutions in the past. It was just unbelievable. What I think we need, though, I think you probably agree with this, Dan, is like I looked at that and I didn't really give us a chance at the start because it was PSV. In the second leg, I thought, yeah, 0-0, they've got to come at us. But we have to remember that these clubs aren't playing on the names. It's like if you draw Man United in the FA Cup and you are, let's say, York City or something, you're thinking like, oh, God, it's Man United. Then you've got to think that this is the Man United now, not, and I think that's the thing with PSV. There's some big names left. We've got Roma, obviously Marseille in the other leg. There's some big names, but we have to remember that if they were as good as they used to be, they wouldn't be in the Conference League.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But then, as you say, teams like York look at it, and it's all about playing the name, and playing instead of playing the, playing the occasion. They're playing against the name sort of thing. It's not a case of, let's just go out there and enjoy football, and whatever happens, what will be, will be. But as I said earlier on, when I was talking about Dash on a other channel not so long back, I was saying now, Burnley got to Europe at one point, and they're not expected to hit them hearts every year. But you look at teams like PSV, who've been pretty much an ever-present in the Eredivisie in the Dutch.
I looked at their history of what they'd won, and my God, it sends shivers down your spine.
It does. Going back to what you said about the Dutch supporters, they are a cracking set of fans, Dutch fans. I mean, we had Sparta Rotterdam in a pre-season friendly once, and they shared the Bob Lord stand with them because they housed them in there. So when they went down for a beer at half time, somebody pulled the shutters down. That went second half for kicking off. They were like, what? Like, it doesn't stay open. And we just sat there and we're having a laugh and banter. And I speak to a few of them now. There's a guy called Peter who is very, very well-spoken, big Sparta Rotterdam fan, but speaks really good English. And he's a great guy. Really, he's a great guy. But
one is you have to speak good English, don't you?
Yeah, one of us has to. I mean, he's taught everything he knows. But yeah, you deserved it. I mean, going 1-0 down, probably a catalyst to push you. Sometimes those moments can change games. And after going 1-0 down at half time, a kick up the backside were needed, and it worked. It worked. Brendan got everything right.
Yes. Static says, well done for Burnley for getting to Europe that season. And talking to Burnley, I mean, that was the one game from last week that I wanted to talk about. Looking at the news, and there's a couple of pieces of news from the week in football, and you know what the big talking point was, and you did a show on this, and quite right, you got over 1,000 views on it. I mean, I think we were on the Premier League, and people are going like, how can you do that? But we were in the relegation zone, and the thing. So I understand in a way why they've done it, but I don't understand
why now.
Why exactly? Apparently, it's just come up saying that StreamYard are having problems streaming to Facebook, so that's suddenly why all my figures have gone down. So if you're watching on Facebook, you won't be able to watch me, will you? But so sorry about that for anybody from Facebook, but it has gone down. Why now and why Sean Dyche? I mean, yes, you've just given him an extension of 3-4 year contract or whatever, and I get the fact that you're where you are, but by the week, I mean, you had you have a good fight on Sunday, and I hope your player is going to be well. Was it your player or West Ham's player?
Yeah, our player Ashley Westwood. Yeah.
And I hope he's going to be well. I just don't get why. And if you do go down, surely he's one of the best men to bring you back up.
Yeah, couldn't have put it any better, mate. I don't understand it. When he was given the 4-year contract extension, we were rock bottom of the division at the time. Absolutely rock bottom of the division, and he signs a new 4-year deal, and we're like, brilliant. He understands that this season's difficult, and he's still willing to, try and die for the cause, get us out of it. And then you're 4 points away from safety, which at one point you're only a point away. It's only, Norwich were a blip. And you can't really say it was Darsh's fault. I'd probably say it were a player's perspective that after the Everton win, we probably thought the Norwich game's a doddle and we've got it in the bag.
Yeah.
You know, and it was almost like everybody's ego jumped up after that Everton game, thinking that's it. It's in the bag now. But yeah, it's been an absolute whirlwind of events since Friday. Proper left field. Don't know why or how this has come about. It's not just Darsh, it's the whole backroom staff. We've lost Billy Mercer, a goalkeeping coach who's turned 2 to 3 of our goalkeeping contingents into international goalkeepers. So he'll be a massive miss.
Yeah.
It doesn't mention it, but our first team physio has also, been given the chop. Steve Stone, our first team coach, has gone. As I say, Ian Warne, Darsh's basically best man, shall we say. He's been given the chop
Assistant
as well.
manager.
So, yeah, well, we could say that, but it didn't come to mind quick enough. I've got weddings on the brain.
Oh, you're not, are you? Do I have to go out and buy a wedding present for my son now?
Buy a hat, Chris.
I can't wear this one.
Hey, why not? Why not? I'll let you. But no, I just think it's very strange. It really is strange. There's got to have been something drastic happen behind the scenes.
Yes.
Because it's, rumours are going to circulate. Nothing's been said. I don't understand what's happened or why. No players come out. You see players when a manager's gone saying, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for doing this. Hope you go on to have, a good career elsewhere. But it's literally been nothing. Not one player has come out and said thank you or said anything. You get a 59-word club statement, which for me, after nearly 10 years at a club, dying for the cause, the service he has given us with the pittance that he's had in his pockets, and yet he gets a 59-worded piece on a website, I think is shocking, in my opinion. As I say, there must have been something gone on drastically behind the scenes for it to turn this sour. But he is a great manager, and if we do go down, Sean Darsh will be in the Premier League before Burnley are.
Yes, yeah. I mean, as Kate says there, nobody's speaking, and more than certain there's more to it. And I guess we will never know, because
as time goes on, it'll filter out. It'll filter out eventually.
It possibly will do. Maybe if a player moves on, then he may be allowed to, open his mouth, and he's been told not to now. It is very, very, like you say, suspicious. And the fact that all his backroom staff have gone as well. I mean, when we sacked Ranieri, we had Craig Shakespeare we knew that we could rely on, and he came in and obviously got the job permanently, and that didn't last. But there's nobody there. I mean, Ben Mee, don't get me wrong, I know he's a great player for you. He's one of your best players this season. But is he management? Is he ready for management? Is he going to keep you up?
No, he's nowhere near ready for management. I think obviously he's at that back end of his career where how you doing now? Hope you're well. He's at the back end of his career, don't get me wrong, but it's probably just this is what it feels like, almost like when you went through school, you had your YTSs and things like that. This is almost like that for him.
Yes.
It's almost like, you've got the chance, have a little feel of it. Does it feel right for you? But it were our under-23s manager, Mark Jackson, who took the reins pretty much, and Ben Mee was just. I think it was good that we've done that, because I've said to you and I've said to others that with Ben Mee's injury, we've missed him on the pitch. We've missed that leadership, that voice that has helped us, pick ourselves up during games. So to have him on the bench was probably one of the best things we could have done.
Yeah,
it's just as I say, it's all so surreal. I just. I was 20, 21. My firstborn had only just been born when Sean Darsh were manager. My son's now 10. As I say, it's like losing a pet. They become family, don't they? And when they've been around for so long, it hurts, and it still shocks. It still shocks me, and I don't think I've got out of that shocked stage yet. To be fair,
I mean. Chris says there, probably not giving him the money to buy better players. I think that would, if that was the case, I think that would have happened earlier than this, to be honest with you. You know, because you've got the January transfer window, and it's, you know, I don't, whether it's been simmering or not. I mean, I could say I don't know. I'm not even sort of.
But that's the thing is though, Chris. Though Alan Pace came in, and him and Dash were on the same page. Everything that they were saying, each of them, they were all like, "Oh my God, we were thinking the same thing." Everything was going in the right direction for a really nice, healthy relationship. So what the hell has happened off the pitch? I do not know, but something drastic has happened. And the fact that players are keeping quiet, potential player revolt, saying that his management was stale, you know, that's a rumour that's come out. Either way, it's very difficult for Sean Dyche. I can't believe what's gone on. He's a great manager. He'll go on to have an illustrious career. He's odds on for the next England manager. Wouldn't put it past him. But just to finish on, I think, you know, thank you for everything you've done. You are the epitome of Burnley, to be honest. You've given me some of the best years as a fan. I'll never forget the things that he's done, and I echo Thomas Frank's sentiment. The man deserves a statue for what he's done.
And yeah, I can see. I mean, he is. You know, I think he's the last of the dying breed. You know, that where we're going to see managers that are at a club for that long. I mean, for me personally, I hope that Rodgers is with us for 10 years, because I think, you know, he's a right fit for the club, you know, with his youth, and we both youth policies, and he gets on with the director. And unless, you know, we do really badly one season, I can't see them wanting to sack him. But, you know, the Fergie years, the Wenger years, you know, they're gone. Managers aren't getting that sort of time or respect anymore. And I think Dyche, I mean, you know, he got you into Europe.
Yeah.
There wasn't so long ago he was being linked every time we changed our managers. And at one point he was one of the fans' favourites to take over. And like you say, I mean, you know, I'm happy with Southgate. I don't particularly want Southgate to leave, but, you know, if Southgate does move on, you know, I think Dyche is probably a better shout than Potter, you know, because he's been there, seen it, got the T-shirt, so to speak. But I think from the outside, and like I say, you know, you could be wrong, I think there has more gone on, but I do think this has relegated Burnley for me. You know, and I think Everton fans, well, you've seen the meme that's going around, haven't you? You know, Everton fans must be dancing in the streets, literally.
Yeah. The channel I went on earlier, they put up all the managers since Owen Coyle that we've had, which was Coyle, Brian Laws, Eddie Howe, and Sean Dyche. Out of them all, Sean Dyche had the poorest win ratio. But then I look at it and I think, right, Owen Coyle had one season in the Championship, which was, you know, went on brilliant, cup run the lot, and then half a season in the Prem. So he's not had half as long of a tenure as Dyche has had.
No.
The best win ratio was Brian Law, surprisingly, which was a bit of a shock to the system because he was bloody awful. But
I remember him. I do remember him. Wasn't quite as bad as.
Go on.
No, what I was saying, it wasn't quite as bad for me, because when I started to take the kids to watch Burnley, to give them the chance to support Burnley if they wanted to, because it was their local team where they were born, and that was the Waddle years when you were known as Burnley Nil.
Burnley Nil.
Yeah, nothing probably was quite as bad as that. But yeah, I mean, somebody's going to do well with getting him in. You know, the rumours are West Brom. If Steve Bruce doesn't. I'm surprised. I didn't even know Steve Bruce had gone there till this week. To be honest with you, who keeps giving that man a job? You know, that's what
us when West Brom there was a manager swap.
I know. I mean, good God! I mean, what other job can you be sacked for being bad? You know, if you say you're down and walk into another job so quickly. You know, but there we go. But honestly, all the best, Dan. I think you say your board has made a big mistake here. When do you next play? Because your next game's at home. When is that?
It's on Thursday night against Southampton.
Right.
That's going to be a very interesting.
Is it on the old TV?
It is. It's on the old Sly Sports.
Right. To be honest with you, because as I say, you know my affiliation with Burnley. I might have to watch that because it'll be interesting to see your first game at home, how the fans react, and if Alan Pace even turns up or not.
Yeah. Me and Kate have mentioned that will he even be there? Will he chicken out?
Yes.
What will the situation be? But
yes.
The thing is, whoever comes in is going to inherit a good squad, a good group of lads that are ready to die for the cause, because that's the sort of signings that Dash went for. Who knows? This could spur us on. If it was a player revolt, then now put your money where your mouth is. Now that you've managed to, have your say, and you've got rid of what some of the players may look at and go football dinosaur because he didn't change his tactics, then put your money where your mouth is. Help keep the club up. Show us reasons why he would not be the man to keep us in them 8 games. Yeah. Go out and do it on the pitch. Let your boots do the talking. But yeah, going back to what you said earlier, Chris, as well, Ashley Westwood, I really do hope he recovers for the rest of the season because that was nasty. When your leg's straight but your foot's at quarter past, I mean, that's...
Well, I think you've just got to look at the reaction of the other players and that...
Oh, yeah, Vlasic were heartbroken. Yeah. Vlasic were heartbroken.
I mean, I was doing a Newcastle watch-along, and it might have been Scott, actually, that was coming on and giving us updates, saying there's been a bad injury in the game.
Oh, yeah, they actually cut to the Newcastle-Leicester game because they didn't want to show any highlights of the Ashley Westwood incident.
Right.
And to be fair, they'd actually brought the stretcher straight on, so...
Yeah, not good. Well, all the best to Westwood, and I hope he does well. And like I say, I think it is your your resignation letter to the Premier League, if you like. I think that. But,
Death has turned up at the door of Turf Moor, tapped it on the shoulder, and said, "Come on, it's time to go."
You've come on, and this is the last question, and then we'll move on. But you've come on and very, very often criticised Dyche's tactics.
Yeah.
I have obviously called Brendan Bellend after I'll never be allowed to forget that after the West Ham game, but I still stand by that. Neither of us have actually asked for our managers to be sacked. As much as we've criticised them, which we're allowed to, we're fans. We've never actually called for them, which a lot of fans of both clubs have done. Now, his style of play, maybe he's not got a plan B, but if he keeps you up, you don't care, do you? You don't care if you've won. I mean, they showed a stat yesterday. I don't know what I was watching, and it came up and it showed like Leicester when we won the Premier League. It was 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1. So what? Who cares?
You'll know, Chris. You'll know from your time in Burnley. You worked with Stan's wife, Kath, didn't you, at the Burnley Express? So
yes, I did. Yeah, lovely lady.
Why didn't we sort of do a similar thing we did for Stan Turner to Sean Dyche and say, listen, we understand we've given you a 4-year contract extension. However, results this season haven't gone in our favour. Is there any chance that we will pay you out the rest of that contract that we've obviously signed and agreed with you, but after 10 years of service, it's only right that we let you see the season out. At least we'll announce the news that you're calling it a day at Burnley Football Club at the end of the season, and the final home game, you get a lap of honour. Fans can appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah.
It's the least the man deserved.
Yes. Do you remember? I mean, I don't know if you've seen the film Damned United about Leeds. When Clough resigned and they accepted it, then he turned up as a fan. And I would love Sean Dyche. I'd love it if Sean Dyche turned up just to watch the game. I'm sure the owners would be left in no doubt where the loyalty stood. But yeah, I mean, Kate, was it Kate Turnant? I'm trying to Kath Turnant.
Kath Turnant, yeah.
I mean, that was so funny because I started working at the Burnley Express, and she was the trainer at the time. And now, being a Leicester fan and working I'd lived in Burnley for probably 5 years by that time, but being a Leicester fan, I didn't really follow Burnley much. And like I say, the kids weren't sort of around then, and then so I wasn't taking them to the football. And the first thing I had to do, I think it was I had a promotion special or something. Something could happen, or end of season
99,
special.
2000, we got Division 1 champions.
Possibly. I can't. To be honest with you,
champions, I think. Yeah,
it was one of those pullouts, though. So I'm ringing up because my first job, I've done sales all my life, but the first job doing newspaper sales. And started up, and she kept saying, "Oh yeah, you're a natural at this, blah, it's going well, I was getting the sales in." And she kept really said, "Oh, try ringing this company, try ringing this company, they'll probably advertise." And everyone I rang was, yeah, I'll advertise on that. And I turned around to her and said, "Not being funny, how do you know all these, all these contacts and these, these companies would support them?" And she says, "You don't know who I am, do you?" Famous. And I went, "Actually, no, I don't." My husband's the manager at Burnley. And I'm like, I don't know how red I went, but it was like at that moment, I just wanted the ground to open and swallow me up. And they're like, oh, okay. I had no idea. But lovely lady. And
God rest her soul.
Yes, R.I.P. And Stan was a lovely. From what I heard, as I didn't know him personally, but he was lovely. But we have got the next piece of news before we get on to the matches. And this is today's news. And Derby are relegated to the 3rd tier. And Rooney has said he wants to stay. And I would just like to... I have actually got a live link with our representative in the East Midlands. I'm just trying to find the link now, and I will bring him in. And this is sort of our, like I say, our representative in the East Midlands with an update on the Wayne Rooney situation.
Viewers, apologize. I'm continue.
I'm sorry, Don. I'm glad. I don't want you to go bust, but the fact that you've gone down, the only thing that disappoints me on this day that Forest are winning and they may come up by the playoffs. Who knows? But Derby County, you've gone down to the 3rd division. But all joking aside, and it is funny, and I will probably refer back to this for many, many weeks. I'm glad Derby haven't gone bust because we've been in that situation, and I wouldn't want any club to go through that, whoever they are. But the fact that they've gone down and got relegated, I can enjoy that. I can enjoy that moment.
They've done well to take it to this far as well, Chris.
I was going to say, credit to Rooney.
Deduction. That they've done really well to get it to only a couple of games of the season left. They got a really good win over Fulham the other night. And, maybe the tails were up and they thought, we get something from this game. As I say, they only conceded late on against QPR today to basically put the nail in the coffin, which, it's... But I understand they're of rival proximity, so I can understand why it is always funny to see them drop a division.
It is. It's like, as I say, I wouldn't want to. We've been bust once and came very, very close second time, which would have probably killed us off, to be honest with you, if Mandrich hadn't come in and saved us. But yeah, so I would never want to see another club go out of business. But the fact that they're going down to the 3rd tier is extremely funny. And as all credit to Wayne Rooney, he could easily have jumped ship and he could have taken the easy option, which was go to Everton. Which he resisted at this time, and I think he probably had his head screwed on with that. I mean, if he brings Derby back up with everything they've gone through, then everybody will, he'll get the praise that he deserves, and he's put his own money in as well to help the players occasionally, hasn't he? I believe.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I think his job hinders on the takeover.
Yes.
It wants if the takeover goes through, which he's hoping goes through pretty quickly, then Derby County can start to rebuild. If not, then Derby County are in for a long, painful ride.
Yes. But we all know. I mean, we've been down there that route, haven't we? We've been down to sort of the depths of the third and fourth, divisions. I was talking to a Newcastle fan earlier. Of course, I now live just outside Bournemouth, and when I came down 15 odd years ago, I can remember Bournemouth players stood outside the pavilion with buckets collecting money. They were minus 17 points or 27 points possibly at the bottom of the fourth tier, and they sacked the manager. They managed to get somebody to put the money in who took them all the way back, and all credit to him for what he did with the club. And they appointed an ex-player who had never had any managerial experience in his life. And that player was Eddie Howe. And look what he did with, I mean, I know Leicester won the title in 15-16, but he should have had he did not get the recognition he should have had. I think had Leicester not gone and won it that season, the fact that Bournemouth in the Premier League would have been the story. So I don't think he got that. But yeah, he did an absolutely fantastic job on there. So I'm sure Derby will come back, but hopefully it'll be a few years and I won't be here to see it. So let's get talking football, shall we? Well, football. Let's start talking games. And it was the semis. Did you enjoy a semi this weekend?
Not really. I think the news on Friday put me off. But
yes, it would put a damper on anybody, wouldn't it?
Sometimes you shut your eyes and you open them up, and there's when the kids haven't got control of the TV remote, you do love a good semi.
Well, the first game on the Saturday was Man City and Liverpool, and I'm going to say this now. Man City fans, and not all of them. I'm going to say I'm not painting sort of the whole City fans with tying it with the same brush at all, but the section of your fans, absolutely. I know there's no way you can probably trace them, and there may be or whatever, but the fact that you did what you did in the minute silence for the 96 was absolutely disgusting. You brought shame on your club. Football is rivalry. It's all about rivalry. It's like little intertown wars, if you like. That's what we love about the game. We love the banter. And, banter's great. And I like how it just was with Derby then. Banter is fine. But you show some respect. And this is coming from the heart with me, because when we lost our chairman, the love that we got from other clubs was amazing. We had Forest scarves, Derby scarves on the
I think we Burnley were one of the first clubs to play you not long after he'd passed, and we joined you in a walk from like the stadium to the to wherever it were.
I think you were our first home game, and there was a special program, and your chairman at the time, Harry. Is it Harry? Well, I don't know if it's Harry Garlick, but it was somebody.
Harry Garlick did TVs, Chris.
Yeah, but he was your chairman, I think, at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mike Garlick. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Mike Garlick. That's it, and. He wrote a full page thing, and very respectful. And we got the love that we were shown from other clubs worldwide, if you like, was unbelievable. But back home, West Ham, who I'd never particularly, don't cry, mate, it's not that, we're over it. West Ham, who I've never particularly said that, I had anything, nice to say about West Ham. They were brilliant. Because we were playing them at the time. They came through. They're unbelievable. And I've got a lot of respect for clubs that I didn't. And that makes me get so mad at this even more. If you can't shut your gobs for 60 minutes, 60 seconds to keep the silence, then, to be honest with you, you're not a fan.
Look at it from a player's perspective as well, Chris. I mean, half of these players in the Premier League, let's look at this. So you've got likes of Phil Foden and Jack Grealish coming up against Alexander-Arnold and other players that are in the England team, and they play together at international level. Prior to this game kicking off, they're shaking hands and they're having a laugh with each other. Yeah. But when it comes to that first whistle being blown, friendship goes out the window. Yeah. So prior to the referee blowing that whistle to start a game, have a bit of respect for your opponent.
Yes.
But then as soon as the whistle goes, that's it. That's when for 90 minutes, that's when you can hate them. You can hate the club, you can hate the players, but tragedies like that, Manchester City, their fans really let them down as a club.
Yes. I think as well, it's like when we played you, like you said, I think you were the first home game after. Because I think we were supposed to play Southampton, that was cancelled. We played Cardiff away, and whatever I say about Damari Gray, I love him for the fact that he got the goal and we won that match. And then we played you at home, and the minute silence, because we held obviously a minute silence before, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
And respect to Burnley fans for that. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave it on that one. But I just think, yeah, like you said, Man City. I'm not even going to call them fans, because but Man City should.
Man City don't call them fans, Chris. They call them blue seats.
Yeah, that is very well. Maybe they should have some more blue seats for those lot that were doing that. So, to be quite honest with you, you're out the cup, Man City. Great. You deserve to be. I'm sorry. I know it's not your team, but you deserve to be. But Liverpool went 3-0 up in this one. Because I mean, they'd obviously had the draw in the previous match, which was the Premier League match, the so-called title decider. So I was surprised when I saw it was 3-0 up. They went for the jugular, Liverpool, didn't they?
Oh, massively. And to be fair, Mane's goal, I think, which were the second one. I missed Konate's goal, to be fair, but Mane's second, just what is Zach Steffen doing there? I mean, you learn it at the Dundrums of football. You've been in the lower leagues and things like that. You learn that stuff where you just clear it. Why are you playing about with it with your feet? But we saw it in the same fixture when Ederson ring goal. It were a different player trying to come in on him, and he managed to boot it away from the line. But for Zach Steffen, it just wasn't to be, and Mane slotted away nicely by applying the pressure.
Yeah.
But going in at 3-0 up at half time, Klopp must have been rubbing his hands together.
Yes.
I bet Pep were firing, not half firing some shit. But
I must agree, and I've got to be honest. The fact that they got one in the 90th plus 1 minute, I mean, that just kind of makes the score respectable. That it wasn't a 3-2 game, I don't think, was it?
No, it was definitely end to end. Both teams just battling it out in the second half. It was, if it wasn't City going on the attack, it was Liverpool. It was just there were no clear winner. Obviously, in the second half, but the first half was just an absolute whitewash for Liverpool.
Yeah. Chris would rather support Man United than step foot back in Burnley. No, actually, Kate, I wouldn't. You know I have banter with Dan, but I always watch Burnley, and you were our bogey team when we had you in the Championship. My two kids were both mascots for Leicester against Burnley at Turf Moor. I have a lot of time for Burnley. Dan knows this, seriously. I've got a hell of a lot more time than I have for Man United, to be honest with you. And Man United fans, not all of them can take the banter anyway. So
likewise, Chris. I burnt the pajamas.
I wasn't going to mention it. I
thought I might as well before you did. Hey, I'm not Dan anymore. See you later.
So Liverpool are in the final, and they're up. And I kind of wasn't surprised at this result, but I did want Palace to get through because I do like the underdogs to go through. Nobody would have said that Leicester were going to win the FA Cup last season. I would have loved Crystal Palace to go on and win the FA Cup this season. I if it's anything other than sort of the big boys keep winning, but then again, you kind of knew this was going to happen, didn't you?
Yeah, of course you did. Palace gave a good account of themselves, to be honest. There's not I can't really say that they weren't outclassed in the game.
It was the 65th minute, wasn't it?
Well, that's what I mean. They really fought hard in this game, and the scoreline's quite flattering to Chelsea, to be honest. I wanted to see Palace do well, as you said, not just because of the, we get on with Rich and everything from Eagle Eye Football, just that, as you said, the underdog it's always better to have. And Palace have been looking forward to this fixture. If anything, it's probably derailed their thoughts in the Premier League because they've been focused on this.
They said that when we played them last weekend. Yeah.
Well, we all have to have an excuse lined up, don't we? But you know what, Chelsea, again, one of those teams this season. You don't know what sort of Tuchel side you're going to get, and lo and behold, when it matters the most, they've come up trumps.
Yes, yeah. Well, that is it. I mean, I would. I guess I want Liverpool to win. You know, I want Liverpool to win over Chelsea. And wouldn't it be funny? I think Chelsea have been in 3 finals on the trot now. They beat Arsenal. They lost to us. I'd love them to lose to Liverpool again. Bless them.
That'd be good.
Wouldn't that be good? Where's your loyalties for the final? Where do you see the final going?
Probably to Wembley, but I think Liverpool will win it.
Yes, yeah. Haven't even got my machine ready for you. I should have known having you on, shouldn't I? There we go. Look, I mean, talking of Wembley, and we'll move on to the Premier League after this. I'm a great advocate for the semi-finals being at neutral grounds.
Yes.
So they could have played this match at the Tottenham Hotspur ground. They could have easily done that. It's almost as big as Wembley. I don't know, seat wise, but they didn't have to go to Wembley. Liverpool.
Whatever happened at Millennium Stadium?
We're still there in Wales, isn't it? I think.
I know, but does it now? It surely must not get used.
Well, I think we kind of hired it, didn't we, while Wembley was being built? But I wouldn't want to see games go to, because it's Wales, so I wouldn't really want to see games go there. But I mean, Man City, Liverpool could easily have been held at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And I think, in fairness to those fans, it would have been better. But obviously, the FA want the money from Wembley. They've got to pay Wembley off, so the more games they get there, etc., etc. But I guess if you're a Palace fan, you've had your day at Wembley. I know it was a semi-final. Yeah. I know you lost, but you've seen your team at Wembley. And that does count for a bit, really.
It does, although they'll have already seen them at Wembley when Spurs had the ground for a couple of seasons.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I do know what you mean. In terms of cup competition, when it comes to knockout situations, it's very different.
I don't think that when Leicester played at Wembley, that didn't count for being at Wembley, if you like.
I'm definitely with you though. Neutral. It should be neutral grounds. It takes away the purpose of the final. No matter who goes through to the semis, it should be at neutral grounds, and then the finals held wherever. Didn't the FA Cup used to be over 2 legs as well in the semis?
No, that was the League Cup.
Right.
I don't remember the FA Cup.
I knew it was one of them.
Not in recent memory, anyway. And so I could be wrong, but I don't ever remember it being. I mean, I've been very lucky. I've seen Leicester at the old Wembley. I've seen Leicester at the new Wembley. So I get, Crystal Palace. I hope you enjoyed your day. I'm sorry you lost, but for that, I can understand. You would, Palace fans would have soon, had it at Wembley. I do get that.
Right, let's put Wembley twice. At the new Wembley. Yeah, we won in the playoff final, and then when Spurs were playing there, we beat them when Chris Wood's debut. We won 1-0 against Spurs.
Right. Well, we're going to look at the Premier League results now for the weekend, and as it happens, it's also time for this.
It's time for the Daily Spurs.
Yeah, we've got their match coming up, so it's only right that we do the Daily Spurs. 14 years, 49 days, 4 hours, 28 minutes and 13 seconds since they last won a tournament. And keep it going, Spurs. Keep it going. I mean, at least you don't have to pay a cleaner to come and dust the trophy cabinet down, because there's nothing to dust down in it, is there? But
they just open the door. They just open the door and some bloke.
Exactly. I mean, nobody wants fourth place, do they, this year, for God's sake? I mean, Brighton, not so long ago, were bottom of the form table. Tottenham, I thought Tottenham had stolen it off Arsenal. And I could, Arsenal, I said it was theirs to lose, and they kind of took my word, took me at my word. But Tottenham took over. But what is it with Tottenham? Win one, lose one, win one, lose. I know they've got a good run of wins there, but these are games that at home that you shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, you'd expect them to be doing better. I think on the predictions, we all went for a Spurs on my prediction show anyway. We all went for Spurs in this one, and you'd have thought so looking at it. To be fair, I had some money on this game. There were a bet on with bookies that Harry Kane to have a shot on target, and Spurs had 0 shots on target in this game, which is says it all. Says it absolutely everything about this fixture. As you say, nobody wants top 4. I don't understand why. I also said it in the predictions as well that, Spurs and Arsenal, it's a case of who finishes above who. That's pretty much, the number at the side of their name doesn't matter as long as they finish, one of them finishes above the other. But, they both suffered 1-0 losses this weekend. And this will have hit Spurs, especially Conte. Doesn't take nicely to
No, he doesn't. Well, I'd gone for a Spurs win. Brad had gone for a Spurs draw, and Steve, obviously with his hatred of of Spurs, went for the Brighton win. He had a very good weekend, did Steve, this weekend. If I say so far on the prediction league for this week, because we've still got the midweek games to come, that Brad has got 1 point. No, Brad has got 0 points. Sorry, Brad has got 0 points so far. I've got 1 point. But Steve's got 2 points, and he got those 2 points from Tottenham and Arsenal, and that is the best he's ever. He's never been in the lead before. Bless him, bless him.
Make sure he don't celebrate too much, Chris. We all know what he's like. He'll drop his phone next.
Oh well, you know that his phone was run over, don't you?
Yeah.
It's the Spurs fan that ran over it.
Oh,
just to rub salt in the wounds. But I mean, Brighton not so long ago were actually bottom of the form table. I mean, they've moved up now to 16th, but that was a surprise result. That one was.
The longer the game went on, though, Chris, you saw it. The longer the game went on, you saw it. You could see what were going to happen. Spurs offered nothing going forward, literally nothing. Brighton could have played around with them for 90 minutes and just put the ball in the back of the net. Well, pretty much looking at it, they did. So big shout out to Brighton. They obviously tactically got it spot on.
Yes, yeah. Next game we come to was this one. Now, Norwich City 2, Ronaldo 3. I mean, if it wasn't for... I mean, they won. Don't get me wrong. They did win. That's what it is about at the end of the day. I was surprised that, from being 2-0 up, that they let it get back to 2-2, because I had this as a draw. And I'm not going to criticise Ronaldo today, but I had this down as a draw. So thank you for scoring the last-minute goal, Christian. But this, I mean, I know it's a win. I know it's 3 points, but it doesn't speak well of Man United, does it?
No. Norwich will have had the tails up after that win against Burnley, to be fair.
Yeah.
So they'd have gone into this game, as you say, with the tails up, thinking, right, well, let's see what we can get off Man United now. And again, as they did against Burnley, they've put 2 in against opposition. It's just that on the day, Cristiano Ronaldo, which we know he has in his locker, if you give him that freedom to roam the pitch a bit, he's going to put the ball in the back of the net. So if you can catch Ronaldo off You know, that when he's not on his day,
yes,
Norwich could have easily come away with something in this game. But when Ronaldo's in Farm Vettel, like he were in this game, there's nothing Norwich could have done about it.
No. They've got Liverpool next, and I mean the rumours are that it is Ten Hag that is coming. And I must admit, I was on a channel earlier, and Doug was saying that Manchester United fans have to get a bit real. It's a rebuild job that they've got to do. And they've got to buy sort of the right players, but it's going to take a couple of seasons. So they've got to accept for a couple of seasons. They might, be in maybe the Conference Cup or something like that. So, and it's quite true. And the thing is, he was saying is they've got to buy some decent players. But my God, when you look at the squad they've got, it's full of decent players.
It is. There's detail all over. They've had to send young players out on loan because they couldn't really give them much game time. Alanga looks like he's one for the future. United have tried to bleed some youth through. The thing is now, you're not going to get what United had before. Where the class of '92 came through, you had that really good group of players. Probably it was at a time where players of that age were grounded into the footballers that they are now. Nowadays, they're overpaid before they've even kicked a first-team ball.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've already got this swagger about them before they've stepped a foot onto the pitch.
Yes.
But United, it's just a name now, isn't it?
Yeah. I think
there used to be a purpose playing for Manchester United. Nobody's scared of them anymore.
No, nobody's scared to go to Old Trafford. They are, and I've said this many a times. And the problem is because it's quite recent history. The younger fans don't remember a time pre-Fergie. And pre-Fergie, apart from, they said, with the Busby Babes and what have you, of course, that was different. But generally, for the many 20-odd years before Fergie, Man United were just a Liverpool or a Spurs. An Arsenal or a Spurs. Liverpool were dominating everything. And Man United won the odd cup here and there. They got relegated. They were nothing special. And they've literally... That's what they are now, and you're not going to get the Man United back. But I think this is why on the poll, Man United fans won the poll as being the most disillusioned fans in the league. It's not going to be getting back to that.
Could you imagine what Manchester United would have been like if they actually did trust the process like Arsenal do, and they'd have stuck with David Moyes?
Well,
because maybe that would have been where Fergie got it right. That appoint David Moyes. Fergie seemed to get everything else right in Manchester United's minds, but as soon as Fergie were out the dugout, it was a case of, right, no, I run the roost now, Fergie. Like, sod off. You sat in the background. Who knows what would have happened, but United are not the force to be reckoned with anymore.
No.
They're really not.
And I think...
You'd fear United. You'd fear United coming up. Old Trafford used to be like, oh, we're not expecting a result, but it's Old Trafford. Yeah. It's a day out.
Yeah.
Now you go into Old Trafford thinking, it's a day out, but we've got a chance we could get something out of this.
Yeah, they are. Man United are basically also rans. They are in. They're not in the. I mean, I would put Man City, Liverpool, and possibly Chelsea in one pot, and you could put Arsenal, Spurs, and Man United in the other at the moment. And I've got to say this again. I know we mentioned it before, but I don't know the circumstances behind Ronaldo's son passing away. But if it was at the back of his mind, if it was sort of not sudden, the fact that he went out and put that performance in, 110% credit to the guy. If he can put that sort of performance in when that is going on around him, and I say I don't know whether it was sudden after that or whatever, or they were expecting, but again, respect, mate, respect. On that, that's all I can say. Anthony, good evening, sir. How the devil are you? We'll be coming to Arsenal and Burnley in due course. Next one. Well, talking of Arsenal. Let's just say none of
Perfect
us
timing,
went.
Anthony. Sit tight for this one.
Hey, Manchester United. None of us went for the Manchester United win. In fact, me and Brad went for the draw, and Steve went for the win. On this one, yeah, Arsenal, you let me down again. You let me down again. And Joey, just going back, Scott said there, he said that he believed Moyes didn't get the time he should have. I tell you what, as much as they think that Fergie walks on water, he knew when he was getting out of that club what he was leaving that club in. He left that club in a mess. He did not leave it well enough for anybody to come in and take it over. If that hadn't been such an aging squad, and I think he looked at it and thought, God, I've somehow won the league this season because he could get that bit extra out of the players, but it ain't going to happen again. That's why he went then, I'm sure, But this game, Arsenal, I had Arsenal down for a win, for God's sake, Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony says, bye, chaps, off now. I had Arsenal down for the win. Steve he got the point because obviously it was Arsenal. I mean, come on, Arsenal, what are you playing at? Like I say, I said top 4 was yours to lose. You didn't have to take me literally. I mean, Leicester got called bottlers for the last 2 seasons because we finished 5th. What is that making Arsenal, Tottenham, and Manchester United this season? They're all
a bloody
bottlers.
laughing stock.
Yeah, well, yes, they are indeed, but they're all bottlers because who wants that 4th? Spurs don't seem to want it. They're losing it. Man United, we know them, and Arsenal. You were on an amazing run, and now you're on an amazing run of defeats. And well, Southampton, on the other hand, they couldn't score or hit with like the old barn door with a paddle sort of thing. This was a huge surprise.
A massive one. I've said it for weeks or to you, Chris, haven't I? That Southampton this season, they sort of so hit and miss. Even though you look at the form table and you look at them, a couple of losses here and there, but every year they manage to grind out these results against the big teams.
Yeah.
And this was just another one where they've managed to grind it out. They've got a goal just on the stroke of half time. That can change team talks, can that? That's massive.
It's a good time to get a goal. Well, it's always a good time to get a goal, but that is psychologically a good time to get a goal.
Yeah, definitely. And Arsenal just from what I've seen in the game, just couldn't cope with Southampton. Very good performance from the Saints, and very well deserved. I'm sure Anthony will differ.
Yeah. Anthony says we've got Chelsea tomorrow, which will be a difficult one, Anthony, and Man United on Saturday, which, please, you should be able to beat Man United at the moment. Even Arsenal came close. The thing is, Southampton, I mean, even after that win, they are 19th in the form table. Burnley are above them. There's only Watford and Norwich are above them. There's only Watford below Southampton, and they managed to go and do that. And I'm sorry, I mean, you go on. I mean, it was just so much fun. And I'm sorry, Anthony, but going on all the Arsenal channels and just seeing them totally implode. I mean, I don't know if you did that, Dan, but it was fun. It was fun watching that.
When you know people that love to have a rant and you see their teams lose, it's comical, isn't it? You can just sit back. It's whenever you share those memes of people just sitting back, chewing on the popcorn. That's exactly how it is for us when you know people that love a kickoff.
Yes. I mean, I've never tuned into AFTV, but apparently, the muck was flying, shall we say?
Oh, I bet.
But I mean, I don't think Southampton are going down. Do you think that? Do you think that Arsenal could still get a chance of getting 4th?
They could, but it all hinders on, as you say, they've got, as Anthony said, Chelsea, Manchester United. The Man United game, have no fear, go all out. The Chelsea game, these games, when it comes to the top teams, the form's out the window. But yeah, teams like Arsenal, this is probably why rules are changing season in season out, because results like this are happening, and the people at the Premier League don't like it. Yeah. They like to see the usual suspects doing the stuff, and it's wrong because people are there on merit. But Arsenal are another team. They've dropped off this year. They've dropped off in the last couple of games. Not this year, sorry. But the last couple of games, it's dropped off a little. And
well, look, I mean, all that red underneath. At one point that was solid green.
Yeah, they were going quietly about the business. Hardly anyone was speaking about them. They'd risen up the table, and now all of a sudden they've just stagnated.
I did see you, Anthony, on. I think you're on Charlie's stream on a Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't see you actually have a rant.
An angry Bristolian. That's another one for subtitles, isn't it?
Yeah. I came in and Amondi very, very nicely gave us a shout out, but I can't not do this. I'm sorry, Anthony. You have missed the Daily Spurs, but I think, in fairness, if we've done that, we should do this. I can't watch that with a straight face. I just can't. Oh, sorry, Anthony, but I love it. It just makes me smile. Gotta love that girl. Watford Brentford. Now this one, I called along with Steve. Brad went for the draw. Brentford, they'd had that amazing start. They'd kind of hit the buffers lately. Recently, they'd lost quite a few and were dropping down the table. Don't think they were ever sort of in fear of going down, but they've suddenly, as you can see from all the greens there, they've turned it round, and good luck to them.
They have. Christian Eriksen's been in inspired form. Ever since his comeback, he's literally just boosted Brentford as a club. The club's had a full boost since he's been back. Kudos to him as well at international level. Because he's gone on there and he's done business at international level as well. They're a good run club of Brentford. And it's good to see them put in a performance in away from home, because a lot of people listening have looked at them and thought, at home, that's where the results are coming.
Yeah.
But they're starting to do it on the road now as well. And it took them till late on in the game. Don't get me wrong. It were dying, probably one of the last kicks at game, but they got the win. And they've piled more misery onto Watford, and could be giving Roy Hodgson his first relegation as a manager.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, good evening. Mike, if you're free at the end, do you want to come on after the stream onto the show? Because I have tweeted you. I know you're not on Twitter all the time, but I've got an idea for a show I'd like to run past you. And as David said there, and just at that moment, he messaged me, Mike, apologies, take your time, mate. I hope everything is going to be okay for you. Just do it when you're ready, mate. Totally 100% understand that. And I'll give you time on that. No problem. I mean, David said there, AFTV, just going back is a joke. But, I mean, on this one, Watford slap bang bottom of the form table. Brentford are now moving up to their third. I mean, Brentford are third in the form table. And not only the fact that they were winning, but they were winning with teams around them. And they were beating teams around them. And that was, what, if you could say, what Burnley haven't done, really. But as this, I mean, again, I know it's not mathematically over yet, but has this condemned Watford back down again?
I'd say so. They should be looking at games like this, thinking, right, these were on home soil. Okay, Brentford have been in form, but it's not at their place. It's in our own backyard. Let's take the game to them. I predicted Watford to win, actually. And I just thought Watford may potentially get something, because it's at that business end of the season where they need the points. Brentford look safe now, same as Newcastle. Watford are still fighting to get themselves out of it. They've got a glimmer of hope, but this game sort of, it's like, what's that? There's like a game in, I think it's in Holland, in Amsterdam, and it's all like a nail in like a piece of wood, and you've got to hit it with a hammer, and the hammer goes round, and whoever manages to hit it the lowest in wins. I think that's how it is with Watford. I think that is how it is with Watford, that somebody's passing the hammer around and it's the nails going that little bit deeper.
I have never heard of that, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's a game, you've got like a nail and everyone's got to hit it, but you've got to hit it with like the thin end of the hammer, and you've got to try and hit it square. It's a strange one.
Okay, mate. Okay, I believe you. Hi, Luca. How are you? All the fans are coming in just after we've done their game. It's like they're kind of watching. But, he's mentioned our team. It's safe to go in now. Chelsea Perspective. Hello, mate. How the devil are you, sir? Well done for the semi-final win. I've got to be honest with you. I have called Liverpool to win it this season, but well done on getting there. Right, so like I say, we did quite well on that one on the predictions. That was one of my two. Was that my only point? Yeah, that's my only point that I got this season. So yeah, I Mike, I'll see you there. We'll break you in after the show. So next one. Yeah, I'm sorry about this one, Dan. But moving on to the Sunday. West Ham 1, Burnley 1. I know we have discussed Dyche to some degree, really to the nth degree before we got onto the games. First of all, and we did mention this earlier, is it Tim Westwood?
No, Ashley Westwood.
Ashley Westwood, sorry. Don't know Tim Westwood, but Ashley Westwood, we wish him all the best. It looked an absolutely horror tackle, a horror injury, and I do wish him all the best and hope he recovers from that, because it can be a career ending game injury. Sorry, Burnley. I thought you got the perfect response. I mean, Weghorst, he's not the prolific goal scorer I thought he was going to be, but then maybe it's hard in that Burnley team. But he put you ahead. West Ham, who had been dropping off a little bit, came back into it. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, a strange fixture, because obviously I didn't know how this was going to plan out. Hope you will, Ankit. Didn't understand how this one was going to play out after obviously the news on Friday. I thought, cheers, Anthony. Thank you. I guess I'm going to have to sit next to you in Omen though, which is a bit of a stinker, but waste that one, not. But yeah, I thought, how are we going to respond to this? As I said to you earlier, if it was player power that got Dash out of his job, then we need to see something on the pitch. We did see a sort of response. We did see a sort of togetherness. The ball was kept on the floor. We played some really good football, actually, in my opinion. And Wout just rose the highest. Funnily enough, I've been saying he's the epitome of white men can't jump, Wout Weghorst, this year, but he has literally done all right. The ball came off the bar from a corner, and he rose the tallest to head it in.
Yeah.
We had a penalty. Yes, that's right. Burnley had a penalty. Why Maxwell Cornet was taking it, I do not know. I understand he got the penalty. He won the penalty. But Jay Rodriguez picked the ball up, and Cornet went over and took it off him and put the ball down and hit it and missed. So, yeah, it was almost like it was a kick in the nads, shall we say, when late on in the game, West Ham scored from a set piece, which they've been absolutely fantastic at this season.
Yeah.
Craig Dawson, or Ballon Dawson, as they've been calling him recently. Obviously, we managed to keep him at bay and keep him quiet from corners. But, yeah, what a bad performance from Burnley. And with everything that's gone on, a point's not a bad result.
Are they going to stay up, do you think? Is it enough to or did I don't know how much of the match you saw, because I know you were out, but
yeah, I know I watched it. I watched it. I was around at the in-laws, and I said to Kate,
Riley.
No, not that one. Kate's
No,
mum.
I'm just saying, hey, I don't need a reason to say hello to my ex, my ex-partner. I can just say when I want to.
But they were doing this Easter egg hunt and stuff, and I was sat there in the kitchen, literally just like I've got my internet TV working, and managed to see the game. But it weren't a bad performance. To say everything that's gone on in the last 48 hours at that point.
I mean, again, with this one, I'm sorry, I went for the Burnley win. No, I didn't. I went for the West Ham
you went
win.
for West Ham.
Yes,
you know what, though, Chris? So did I.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Yes, I do believe Kate may well have done a bit better than me in your prediction.
Kate went for Burnley. Nobody could see a draw in this one from my end.
No. I mean, you're 18th in the form table, which I guess says it all. I mean, if you do go down there, Mike is saying that you'll struggle in the Championship.
Oh, yeah, we will. We will. I think we will, because the players are getting older, and we won't be able to cope with the physicality of Tuesday, Saturday. So it'll bite us in the backside.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, at my age, Kate, you just take whatever. I gave up being choosy about 30 years ago. Oh God, not to rub it in, but I have, Chris. Okay, and then of course, where are we here? Of course, Newcastle beat Leicester. So looking at the table, I think I might have gone that quickly that nobody ever saw it. No, we've got. I mean, losing, it's fair enough. You lose, and I accept it's the game, and you win, you lose, you draw. That's it. But what the F is it with Leicester and late goals? West Ham was Brendan Bellend with him making the change and bringing Vestergaard on in the 90th minute and messing his defence up at the corner. Spurs, the players just, I think, were in the changing room having a shower when they got 2 goals in the 94th and 5th minute. And here again at 95th minute, I guess it's awkward because Brendan has been accused a lot this season of being too defensive.
Yeah.
And when it's 1-1, and to me, when I was watching that game, it was end to end. We were breaking, they were breaking, we were countering, they were countering, and I thought it was quite a good game. Not everybody saw it that way, but I did, and it's my show, so I don't care. And if we'd sat back at 1-1 and accepted that, fans would have been going, well, we should have gone for that. We should have gone for it. We went for it. Our defenders were up high and we got caught. And obviously it caught us out. And it is a lose-lose situation for the manager, isn't it?
It is. You did really well, though. The opening goal were a really good finish by Lookman.
Yes.
I want to know your thoughts on Newcastle's equaliser.
On the equaliser or the first goal?
On Newcastle's equaliser. So when he's basically kicked it out of Kasper's legs.
No, that was the first goal. Oh, the equaliser. Yeah, sorry, the equaliser. I always judge these things by what would I say if it was the other way round.
Yeah,
I saw it go goal, and I looked at it, and from where I was watching, I was doing a live stream, so I'd seen it come up on the link I was following, and it had sort of the run of play on there. And I saw it come up there first, and then I was sort of watching it, and I thought, yeah, it's an equaliser, and I thought he'd given it, and I was quite talking away and carrying on, and then hang on. Why has he gone to VAR? And when I look back, he hadn't given the goal. And I thought, oh, what's going on here? Yeah. No, for me, it was a goal. It was no. I mean, they looked at 2 things. I think they looked at one of their players climbing on a Marty. Well, Marty, you're a big fucker. Come on, take him off. But he wasn't stopping it scoring. It wasn't, it wasn't in a sort of affecting play. And Casper, he should have just sat on it. All credit to the Newcastle player for going, in for it still and following it in.
Yeah.
There wasn't a foul on Casper at all. It was a good goal, and I think the right decision was made
fair
at
point.
the end.
Fair play.
As Mike says there, it was a goal for me. Exactly.
Yeah. I thought it were. In the run of play, though, I agree. Looking at it, I thought, has he kicked it out of his hands? Because if it's in his hands, then that's a foul on the goalkeeper, and that I understand. But when I looked at it, and I thought, well, he's kicked it out of his legs. Technically, the keeper's not in control of it. He's not smothered the ball. He's not sat on it to keep it covered. He's not in control of it. So yeah, the goal should have stood for me. So obviously, it was nice to hear your take on it. And as you said, the final nail in the coffin from Bruno, a very good diving header to nick it in the dying.
I think just to end on, and I haven't got the picture now. I did because I had it on for the previous show. I did earlier in the evening, which was the opposition show with the Newcastle fan Brad, and when that picture shows from the sort of camera side, if you like, that was being filmed, it looked like a foul, but you was behind and what have you. So no credit to Newcastle on that one. I can't not say that they didn't deserve that. And like Mike says there, Bruno is a world beater as well. They took the chance.
Bruno took one to be a Newcastle's modern day Gaza.
Yes, he could.
In midfield. He came out afterwards, didn't he? And said, "I want to be a legend here" and stuff like that. So fair play to him. There's a film out at the minute for kids.
Yeah, it was gutting to lose in the 95th minute, but they took advantage of it. I mean, they are now safe. And I'm pleased for Newcastle United. I really, I know I'm one of these fans that those fans of clubs that are moaning about the Newcastle money. I don't get that I get that maybe from a. Sorry, Mike, but I probably get that from a Newport, or I get it from one, a Luton or somebody like that. But I don't get Man City fans and Liverpool fans moaning about the money that they've got. We've all got rich owners. We've got rich owners. We wouldn't have done what we did without rich owners. Some owners have got bigger pockets than others, though.
They have. They have. They've done it. They've done it well, though. They've not just gone out and splashed the cash on any generic sharp. They've tried to do it by weakening the teams around them, and some of the players that they've signed as well have been absolutely brilliant. As I say, there's a film out now called Encanto that the old kids are watching, and one of the songs in there is "We Don't Talk About Bruno." So I think Leicester might have to play that at the next game.
Yeah, thank you. No, all credit to Newcastle. I think they were safe before. I think there was 4 worse teams in the division than them that would have gone down. But this is the table as it stands at the moment. And to be totally honest with you, for me, we're looking at 3 battles there. You're looking at the Man City Liverpool. Who's going to win it? It's still sort of wide open. You're then looking at, Chelsea pretty much, I can't see them giving up 3rd. You then got the battle for 4th. Is it going to be Tottenham? Is it going to be Man United? Is it going to be Arsenal? West Ham have got an outward chance. Leicester, we're not going to get into Europe now via there was an outside chance. I was dreaming that we maybe, if we go on a good run, that we could get that 7th place in the league, but we're not going to. That's kind of
you've got to be happy with. If they were to curtail the season now, would you be happy with that position? With the way your season's been?
Obviously, I would, yes. But like I said, I'm not disappointed because we've still got a European semi.
I'm not angry, Chris. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, the father in you. But no, I'm don't get me wrong. If the season ends now, I'm happy, and I think with everything that's gone on this season, Brendan deserves credit for getting us to sort of 9th. But like I say, had we won against Newcastle with the games we've got in hand, which is sort of 2 or 3 games above in hand above everybody above us, we would there was an outside chance, but I think that's gone now. But and at the bottom, of course, it is still. Well, it's 3 from 4 at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and you're gonna hate me for this. Mike says we'll have 4 thanks. Bottlers, Arsenal, and Spurs. Maybe Man United, the Bottlers. I don't know. Maybe. 3 questions for you then, Dan. Who's going to win the league?
City.
Who's going to get 4th?
Spurs.
And who's going to go down?
As it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I've got a feeling Man City will go on and win it. Liverpool have got distractions. 4th, it's any one of those things. No team's got any kind of continuity going.
There's no outstanding characteristic that can make you go, that team's got something about them.
Yes, yeah.
That team's got the knack of getting into 4th, but at the moment they've all got the knack of bottling it, as you've said.
They have. I'm kind of probably going to have to agree with Mike there. It's almost a case of who do I hate more, Tottenham, Man United, or Arsenal? But or who do I hate less? I should say. I just have a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Now, I've just got a feeling that Man United may just sneak it. I just Mike's having a when Harry met Sally moment in the back room there. I just have a feeling that their luck, and if Ronaldo, I could say commiseration to Ronaldo, but if he can just keep them going and carry on his charity work there, yeah, no, not just once, twice, Michael. Then they might get it, and yeah, I think. I'm sorry, Dan. I did think Burnley could do it. I have a soft spot for Burnley, because I live there and what have you. But Everton are dancing in the streets at what's just happened. They really are. We'll do our best for you. We'll try and beat them. And if you're joining us, if you've got nothing to do tomorrow night at 7:00, everybody, we'll be back with the preview show for Everton, and I will have Elton Wellesby on, the ex-ITV Sports anchorman and big Everton fan. Could Everton potentially be dragged into it? Yes, they could. Of course they could. But they've got that game in hand, which is against us tomorrow. There's no guarantee that Leicester are going to beat Everton at the moment. We could just as easily put 4 or 5 past them as concede 1 or 2. So, that game could go either way. I'm not confident to say it could. But 7:00 tomorrow, same place, same channel. Elton Wellesby will be joining me to talk all about Leicester Everton. Thanks for watching, guys. That was the football week. That is a man with a beard, and he's got an upside down head. That's what it is. Thank you as always for coming on, Dan. Where can people find you?
So you can follow me at Louise on joking. Check us out on Turf Morehouse TV, as it says in the description, and obviously on the name. Do a lot more than Burnley stuff. I have to. It takes my mind away from the negatives. But please do show some support. As I say, I'm currently mourning a loss. Yes. However, it is what it is. We all do this for the love of football. So whether you're a Burnley fan or not, anybody is welcome.
And I tell you what, most fans, even Man United fans, if they're old enough, we've all been in that position. We've all got relegated from one division to another at some time, and yeah, that's football.
I didn't think it'd be a year into starting a channel, though, Chris.
Well, maybe not. And Dan did a really good show. Or even though I wasn't on it, it was a really good show about Sean Dyche being sacked. My invitation obviously is in the post, but get over and have a look at that. And he speaks from the heart. He really does. And that was heart with an H, not an F. So I'm sure we will see more of Dan. Make the most of him while we've got him. Next season, who knows? Thanks very much, Dan. Take care, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me in. Hope everyone's well.
Great. Feature in a second. Thanks to Dan there. Yeah, you know Dan. He's always hanging about. You know, like a fart in a spacesuit. But no, I appreciate him coming on. I really don't know what happened to Lou tonight. She hasn't replied to my message at all. Chris, her boyfriend, was in and he was going to find out, but he never got back to me. So, Lou, I hope everything's all right. I really do. Do let me know, please, if you get to see this. 7:00 tomorrow, we have got, the preview show with Elton Wellesby for Everton, and at 9:00 tomorrow, we are doing the prediction show. With Steve Lynex, who's doing rather well in this week's at the moment, and of course Brad, who's not doing so well this week. Let's put it politely like that. Thanks for watching. I say Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Please smash the likes, share if you're able to, but most of all, please give us a subscribe. And thanks to all the Newcastle fans that have subscribed and given me very, very kind words after the match. And if you've been listening on your favourite podcast platform, thank you so much. That is just going from strength to strength. Take care, guys. See you later, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7:00. Good night now.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
That's all, folks.